Hi, I'm Greg Mantell from the Gregory Mantell Show. Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
So you're out here today singing your ABCs.
Yeah, we're singing ABCs. We're trying to, maintain funding for arts education in schools. When money is tight, people often look at arts education as a luxury. And
Expendable.
yeah, and we're sort of here to show people that when you give kids arts education in school, they do better in school. Period. Every single study that's ever been done shows that. So it's really money well spent.
Yeah, I was just actually reading a book on parenting for another interview I'm doing, and the woman was saying the same thing. Just for good parenting, to have people active in the arts.
Yeah, and plus it's fun. I think it breaks, it breaks up the day for kids. I know for me, I had a music teacher in, we would now call it middle school. We didn't call it that then. Who was just so passionate about music that he loved. We would literally come into class, and most of the time he would just play us music that he loved. Wow. And he'd sit there like in a trance, and I thought, wow, this guy is really into this. And a lot of it rubbed off on me, and some of that music I still listen to today because he turned me on to it. And
you play too.
Yeah, I play. It was before I played, but yeah, I think they've also shown incredible studies that people who study music do better in math, do better in science. Music is a language of its own. It helps people. It helps people with everything. So art study is not frivolous. It seems like a luxury maybe to only those who've never been exposed to it, but it's just something that makes kids do better in all walks of their lives, including school.
Well, since you've been one of the lucky few to turn it into a career, what's the latest with you these days?
I wish I could give you a really good answer to that. I'm writing, which is what I do when I'm not actively acting in something. I'm waiting to hear about 2 projects, but I never like to talk about things till they're signed and sealed. So, meanwhile, I'm working on, if I finish it, what will be my 3rd novel.
Oh, great. 3rd novel. Wow.
Yeah.
People are lucky to get through their first one, so.
The first time I just wanted to see if I could finish it, and then I finished it, and it got published, and it did pretty well. Then it becomes something else. Once you've done it once, and it's funny because when you write a novel, more than anything I've ever done, that seems to impress people. I think it's on. I've discovered it's on many people's wish list, fantasy list of things they'd like to do. And it really wasn't on mine. I just started writing, and it kept going. So I thought, I guess this would be a novel if I kept writing. So I kept writing, and I did get lucky with it. But then I found since then that it's the thing that so many people, secretly or not so secretly want to do.
Yeah, I hear you. I've got a book on my mind too. One of these days. A couple of ideas, random things floating around, but they're still floating.
If there's one key to doing it, it's just to writing it. It's write every day.
That's what I've interviewed Stephen J. Cannell before, and he tells me he gets up every morning and writes, and he says you just treat it like a job. You get up and write.
Yeah, it's not magic. You don't wait for inspiration. Because the funny thing about writing fiction anyway is that the days when you feel like it's like it's all coming and it's fabulous and you're so excited and it's coming easily, and then there are other days when you feel like you don't have any ideas and it's just moving slowly. At the end of both of those days, when you look at the output, they're usually about the same. Sometimes the best stuff comes from those days when nothing feels right, and some of the worst stuff comes from the days that feel great. So it's not about inspiration.
So are you getting ready for Oscar Sunday?
I am, yeah.
Anything you're rooting for?
I'm rooting for. Aside from all the obvious ones, I'm rooting for Up. I just thought Up was a sensational movie and kind of got a little bit lost in, even though it is one of the Best Picture nominees, nobody's talking about it winning, and it's not going to win. I'm a big fan of in a way, of all the frontrunners. I'm a big fan of Hurt Locker, and I'm a big fan of so many movies I liked. I loved An Education, and I loved Crazy Heart, and I loved Avatar. So there's a lot to love this year. And since I'm an Oscar voter, I'm not supposed to talk about.
Okay, we won't ask you who you voted for.
I'd have voted for.
Well, we'll find out Sunday. But thank you, sir, and good luck with the next novel and everything else. So
appreciate it. Need it.
Pleasure meeting you.
Likewise. Thanks.